Sharks, known for their keen sense of smell and speed, are among the ocean's most efficient predators. Species like the great white and hammerhead detect vibrations in electrical fields, striking with precision. Though shark attacks on humans are rare, they can be deadly. Discover the gripping stories of individuals who survived encounters with these fearsome creatures and live to tell the tale. In 2002, on a bright summer afternoon at Clearwater Beach in Florida, tourists enjoyed a perfect day by the ocean. On July 5th, the beach was crowded with families, friends, and solo travelers, all eager to soak up the sun and surf. Clearwater Beach was known for its white sand and gentle waves, making it a popular vacation spot. Among the crowd were lifeguards Mike Johnson, a veteran with years of experience, and Jenna Taylor, a recruit eager to prove herself. They watched over the beachgoers from their tower, scanning the water for any signs of trouble. Nearby, marine biologist Dr. Eric Walters was taking a rare break from his research, enjoying the beach with his daughter Lily. The day started peacefully. Children built sand castles, swimmers enjoyed the warm water, and surfers rode the gentle waves. Dr. Walters watched Lily play by the shore, watching her closely. Mike and Jenna monitored the scene, chatting and sharing stories. Everything seemed idyllic. Clearwater Beach was also home to various marine life, including dolphins, rays, and occasionally sharks. While shark sightings were rare, they were not unheard of. Most sharks in the area were harmless, but there was always the possibility of encountering a more aggressive species, such as the bull shark. As the afternoon progressed, a large group of swimmers ventured further into the water. Among them was a teenager named Alex Mitchell, who had visited the beach with his friends. They laughed and splashed, unaware of the danger lurking beneath the surface. Without warning, chaos erupted. A large fin sliced through the water, heading straight for the group. Panic spread as swimmers realized a shark was among them. Screams filled the air, and people began frantically swimming towards the shore. Mike and Jenna sprang into action, whistling and shouting for everyone to get out of the water. They grabbed their rescue boards and paddled towards the group, hearts pounding with fear and determination. The shark attacked with terrifying speed. Alex was the first to feel its bite, the pain searing through his leg. He screamed, blood mingling with the seawater. The shark, a giant bull shark, circled back for another attack. Mike reached Alex just in time, pulling him onto the rescue board and shielding him from the shark. Jenna helped other swimmers to safety, her eyes scanning for any signs of the predator. The water churned with panic and fear. Seeing the commotion, Dr. Walters ran to the lifeguard tower, offering his expertise. He knew bull sharks were among the most dangerous due to their aggressive nature and presence in shallow waters. With Alex bleeding heavily, Mike and Jenna knew they had to act fast. They paddled furiously towards the shore, the shark following closely. Jenna used her rescue board to fend off the shark, striking it as it came close. The beachgoers watched in horror, helpless to intervene. The shore seemed to take forever, but Mike and Jenna finally made it back with Alex. Lifeguards and volunteers rushed to help, pulling Alex out of the water and applying pressure to his wounds. The bull shark, undeterred, lingered just offshore, its dorsal fin cutting through the waves. The beach was quickly put on lockdown. Lifeguards ordered everyone out of the water and cleared the beach. Knowing the severity of the situation, Dr. Walters called his colleagues at the local Marine Research Center. They needed experts to identify and deal with the rogue shark. Alex was rushed to the nearest hospital, his leg badly injured, but his life was saved thanks to the quick actions of Mike and Jenna. The crowd on the beach was tense, whispers of fear and concern spreading among them. Parents held their children close, and vacationers huddled together, unsure what would happen next. Dr. Walters and his team arrived equipped with boats and tracking equipment. They planned to capture and relocate the shark if possible. They knew it was essential to act quickly before the shark attacked again. Mike, still shaken but determined, volunteered to help. His knowledge of the beach and its waters could prove invaluable. As the experts headed out, tension remained high on the beach. Vacationers watched anxiously, hoping for a resolution. The bull shark's aggressive behavior was unusual and posed a significant threat. The team deployed baited hooks and underwater cameras to track the shark's movements. Hours passed with no sign of the predator. As hope began to wane, the shark reappeared, drawn to the bait. The team acted swiftly, using nets and tranquilizers to subdue it. The struggle was intense, the shark thrashing violently, but eventually, they managed to secure it. Back on the beach, the crowd erupted in relief and cheers as word spread that the shark had been captured. The dangerous predator was to be relocated to a more remote area, far from human activity. Dr. Walters and his team ensured the shark was unharmed and transported to a safer environment. In the aftermath, Clearwater Beach slowly returned to normal. The lockdown was lifted, and swimmers cautiously returned to the water. Lifeguards increased their vigilance, patrolling the beach with renewed determination to keep everyone safe. Alex's recovery was slow but steady. He received countless messages of support and gratitude for his bravery. Mike and Jenna were hailed as heroes, and their quick actions saved lives. The community rallied together, and the ordeal strengthened their bond. The incident left a lasting impact. Beachgoers became more aware of the dangers lurking beneath the waves, and the importance of respecting marine life was emphasized. Dr. Walters continued his research, advocating for better understanding and coexistence with the ocean's predators. In 2004, off the coast of Madagascar, a group of experienced divers prepared for an exciting expedition. On April 12th, they planned to recover a sunken treasure rumored to be hidden in a shipwreck near the remote island of Nosy Be. The team consisted of seasoned diver and leader Sam Turner, marine archaeologist Dr. Lisa Brooks, tech expert Jason Reynolds, and young but skilled diver Emily Carter. The day started with a sense of adventure. The sea was calm and the sky was clear. They loaded their gear onto their Deep Explorer boat and reviewed their plan. The shipwreck, identified through historical records and sonar scans, was believed to hold valuable artifacts and gold. Excitement and anticipation filled the air as they set off toward the site. The waters around Nosy Be were known for their rich marine life, including various species of sharks. Among these, the tiger shark was both feared and respected. Known for its size and strength, the tiger shark could grow up to 16 feet long and had a reputation for being a fierce predator. The divers were aware of the risks but felt prepared for the challenge. They marveled at the clear blue water and the vibrant coral reefs below as they approached the wreck site. The shipwreck lay about 100 feet deep, partially buried in the sand. Sam anchored the boat and the team began their final preparations. They checked their scuba gear, communication devices, and the underwater drone Jason had brought to assist in the search. The dive started smoothly. They descended into the depths, the sunlight filtering through the water, creating a beautiful, serene scene. The wreck came into view, a ghostly silhouette against the sandy bottom. They were in awe of the ship's remnants, a silent testament to history. Dr. Brooks directed the team, pointing out areas to explore and document. Jason piloted the drone, capturing detailed footage of the wreckage. Emily and Sam began searching for the treasure, carefully moving through the debris. They found ancient artifacts, coins, and pottery pieces, all hinting at the ship's storied past. An hour into the dive, they hit the jackpot. Sam uncovered a chest partially buried in the sand. It was old and corroded, but the lock was still intact. They worked together to free it from the wreckage, their excitement growing. The chest felt heavy, a promising sign of its valuable contents. Just as they were about to bring the chest to the surface, Emily noticed a shadow moving in the distance. Her heart skipped a beat as she realized it was a massive tiger shark attracted by the commotion. She signaled to the others and they quickly gathered, forming a protective circle around the treasure. The tiger shark moved closer, its powerful body gliding through the water quickly. It was an impressive sight, but its presence filled the team with dread. The shark circled them, its eyes locked onto the divers and the chest. They knew they had to act fast to protect themselves and the treasure. Sam took charge, signaling the team to stay close and remain calm. They slowly ascended, keeping the chest between them and the shark. The shark followed, its curiosity turning into aggression. It made a sudden charge, forcing the divers to scatter. The shark targeted Jason first, sensing his hesitation. It rammed into him, knocking him off balance and causing him to drop the drone. The impact left him dizzy, and he struggled to regain his composure. Sam and Emily quickly intervened, using their spears to keep the shark at bay. The water churned with movement as the shark attacked again. This time it went after Emily, its jaws snapping inches from her leg. She kicked hard, propelling herself away from the predator. Dr. Brooks grabbed Emily's arm, pulling her to safety. The shark circled back, its frustration evident. Jason recovered and rejoined the group, but his leg was bleeding from a scrape against the wreck. The scent of blood drove the shark into a frenzy. It charged once more, and this time, it bit down on Sam's fin, tearing it away. Sam felt a surge of pain but fended off the shark with his spear. Realizing they needed a new plan, Sam signaled the team to ascend faster while keeping the chest secure. They moved as one, their hearts pounding with fear. The shark continued its relentless pursuit, but the divers' coordinated efforts kept it at a distance. The shark made a final desperate attack as they neared the surface. It lunged at Dr. Brooks, who used her spear to strike its sensitive nose. The shark recoiled, giving them the crucial seconds to reach the boat's safety. The team scrambled aboard, breathless and shaken but victorious. On the boat, they swiftly attended to their injuries. Jason's leg was carefully bandaged, and Sam's torn fin wetsuit was mended. Despite some damage, the chest remained intact. As they opened it, a treasure trove of gold coins, jewelry, and ancient artifacts was revealed. Their mission was a success, though it came at a significant cost. The team reflected on their ordeal as they sailed back to Nosy Be. The encounter with the tiger shark tested their limits and ability to work together. They had faced a powerful predator and emerged stronger for it. The treasure they recovered was invaluable, not just in monetary terms, but as a piece of history. Dr. Brooks planned to study the artifacts, adding knowledge of the ship's origins and final voyage. The team's story became a legend among divers, a testament to courage and teamwork in the face of danger. Back on land, they were hailed as heroes. The local community celebrated their achievement, recognizing the risks they had taken. Sam, Dr. Brooks, Jason, and Emily formed an unbreakable bond, their shared experience creating a lifelong friendship. In 2006, off the coast of South Africa, a team of marine biologists set out on a mission to tag great white sharks. The location was known as Shark Alley near Gansbaai, famous for its dense population of these formidable predators. On September 18th, the team prepared for their day with excitement and caution. They aimed to study great white sharks' movements and behaviors to understand better and protect them. The team consisted of Dr. Laura Phillips, a renowned marine biologist, and the project leader, Michael Ross, an expert diver, Karen Mills, the tech specialist responsible for the tagging equipment, and Tom Blake, a seasoned boat captain. The day began early, with a stunning sunrise casting a golden glow over the ocean. They loaded their research vessel, Marine Explorer, with all the necessary gear and set off towards Shark Alley. The waters around Gansbaai were notorious for their shark activity. Great white sharks, known for their size and power, often reach lengths of up to 20 feet. They were apex predators, feared and respected for their hunting prowess. The team had tagged many sharks before, but knew each expedition carried risks. The sea was calm and the weather was perfect. Spirits were high as the team joked and talked about their plans. Dr. Phillips briefed them on the day's objectives, emphasizing safety and precision. They had high hopes of tagging several sharks and gathering valuable data. As they approached Shark Alley, the team spotted the telltale signs of shark activity: seals darting through the water and large shadows beneath the surface. They anchored the boat and prepared the bait to attract the sharks. Karen set up the tagging equipment, ensuring everything was ready when they encountered their first shark. It didn't take long for the first great white to appear. A large dorsal fin broke the surface, moving steadily towards the boat. The team sprang into action, their training and experience guiding their movements. Michael readied the tagging pole and Dr. Phillips monitored the shark's approach. This shark was massive, more significant than any they had seen before. It circled the boat, its eyes fixed on the bait. Michael waited for the right moment, then expertly tagged the shark on its dorsal fin. The shark thrashed but soon calmed, swimming away with the new tag securely in place. The team cheered, their first success of the day. They continued their work, tagging 2 more sharks without incident. The day was going smoothly and they were pleased with their progress. But then, as they prepared to tag a 4th shark, something went wrong. A massive great white, far more aggressive than the others, approached the boat. Its size was intimidating, and its behavior was erratic. The shark rammed the boat with incredible force, causing it to lurch violently. Equipment fell, and the team struggled to maintain their footing. Michael attempted to tag the shark, but it attacked again, damaging the boat's hull. Water began to seep in, and the situation quickly turned dire. Panic set in as the team realized the severity of their predicament. The boat was taking on water, and the aggressive shark showed no signs of retreating. Dr. Phillips took charge, her calm demeanor masking her fear. She instructed Karen to check the damage and assess their options for repair. The shark continued its assault, circling the boat and striking it repeatedly. Each hit sent shock waves through the vessel, worsening the damage. Tom tried to start the engine, hoping to move the ship to safer waters, but the impact had caused mechanical issues. They were stranded in Shark Alley with a relentless predator. Karen reported that the hull breach was significant but potentially fixable if they could stabilize the boat. The team worked quickly, using whatever materials they had to patch the hole and stop the water from flooding. Michael and Tom took turns keeping an eye on the shark, ready to fend it off if it attacked again. The shark circled closer, its movements aggressive and unpredictable. It rammed the boat again, causing more damage. Michael grabbed a spear, prepared to defend his colleagues. As the shark lunged, he struck its snout, temporarily deterring it. The shark recoiled, circling wider but remaining a threat. Dr. Phillips coordinated their efforts, urging them to stay focused. Karen and Tom worked tirelessly on the repairs, their hands moving quickly and efficiently. The water level inside the boat was rising and time was running out. Every minute counted. Suddenly the shark attacked from below, hitting the boat with such force that it nearly capsized. Michael lost his balance and fell into the water. Fear gripped the team as they watched him struggle to stay afloat, the shark's shadow looming beneath him. Dr. Phillips grabbed a rope and threw it to Michael, who clung to it desperately. The shark lunged at Michael, its jaws snapping shut just inches from his leg. He kicked hard, using all his strength to avoid the predator. The team pulled him back onto the boat, his face pale with fear and exhaustion. The shark's relentless pursuit left them no time to rest. Karen and Tom finally patched the hull, slowing the influx of water. But the boat's engine was still malfunctioning, and they needed to get it running. Tom worked on the engine, his hands shaking with urgency. Dr. Phillips kept watch, her eyes never leaving the shark. The predator's attacks grew more frantic, as if sensing their vulnerability. It rammed the boat again, but the patch held. Now armed with a spear gun, Michael aimed at the shark, ready to protect his team. He fired, hitting the shark's side. The shark thrashed in pain, giving them a brief respite. Tom managed to get the engine sputtering to life. With a collective sigh of relief, the team prepared to move. The shark, though injured, continued to circle, its aggression unabated. Dr. Phillips directed them toward the nearest shore, a small island visible in the distance. As they moved, the shark followed, a dark shadow beneath the water. Michael kept his weapon ready, eyes scanning for any sign of another attack. The journey was tense, every second filled with dread. They knew they were not safe yet. Finally, they reached the island, beaching the boat on the sandy shore. Exhausted and shaken, the team stumbled onto land, grateful to be alive. The shark circled offshore, its fins slicing through the water. They had escaped its immediate threat, but the ordeal was far from over. They assessed the damage and their supplies. The boat was in bad shape and needed to be repaired more. They set up a makeshift camp, using what they had to create a safe space. Dr. Phillips contacted the mainland, relaying their situation and requesting assistance. As night fell, the team huddled together, their fear mingling with relief. They had survived the shark's relentless attacks, but the memory of its power and aggression lingered. They knew they had faced a formidable predator that tested their limits and resolve. The following day, help arrived in a rescue boat sent from the mainland. The team was airlifted to safety, and their ordeal was finally over. They were hailed as heroes, and their story of survival was a testament to their bravery and teamwork. The collected data and the tags they deployed provided valuable insights into excellent white shark behavior. Despite the dangers, their mission had been a success. They had faced the ocean's most feared predator and emerged stronger for it. Back on land, they reflected on their experience, grateful for their lives and shared bond. The shark tagging expedition had gone wrong, revealing their resilience and unbreakable spirit. In 2008, the waters off Queensland, Australia were bustling with excitement. On August 21st, an international sailing regatta was underway, drawing skilled sailors worldwide. Among the competitors was the crew of the Sea Voyager, a sleek racing boat captained by Peter Collins. His team included First Mate Anna Thompson, navigator Mark Richards, and deckhand James Lee. The day began with perfect sailing conditions. The sun was shining, and a steady breeze promised an excellent race. The Sea Voyager crew was in high spirits as they prepared their boat, checked the sails and rigging, and discussed their strategy. They were determined to perform well in the regatta and had trained hard for this moment. The waters around Queensland were known for their rich marine life, including various species of sharks. Great whites, tigers, and bull sharks were ordinary in the area. While shark attacks on humans were rare, the presence of these predators was always a concern for sailors and swimmers alike. The race started smoothly, with the Sea Voyager gaining an early lead. Peter steered the boat through the waves expertly, while Anna carefully managed the sails. Mark closely watched their position, ensuring they stayed on course. James moved swiftly across the deck, adjusting lines and keeping everything shipshape. A few hours into the race, disaster struck. The Sea Voyager collided with an underwater object, likely a submerged reef or debris. The impact was sudden and violent, throwing the crew off balance. Water began to pour into the hull, and it quickly became clear that the boat was sinking. Peter issued the abandoned ship order, and the crew scrambled to deploy the life rafts. They grabbed supplies, including emergency flares, water, and a radio. Within minutes, the Sea Voyager was lost beneath the waves, leaving the crew adrift in the open ocean. As they floated, trying to regroup and assess their situation, they noticed fins slicing through the water. The sinking boat and the commotion in the water attracted a pack of sharks. The crew's relief at escaping the sinking vessel turned to fear as they realized hungry predators surrounded them. The sharks circled closer, their dorsal fins cutting ominously through the water. The crew's hearts pounded with fear. Peter, staying calm under pressure, instructed everyone to keep their limbs inside the rafts. They used their paddles to fend off the sharks, but the predators grew bolder with each passing minute. One of the sharks rammed James's raft, nearly tipping it over. He gripped the edges tightly, trying to stay calm. In the adjacent raft, Anna threw a paddle at the shark, hitting it on the snout and temporarily driving it away. The situation was dire, and they needed a plan. Mark, the navigator, remembered the emergency flares. He suggested using them to signal for help and scare off the sharks. Peter agreed and retrieved the flares from their emergency kit. They fired one into the sky, hoping a nearby boat would see it. Then they fired another into the water, aiming to deter the sharks. The flares had a temporary effect. The bright light and noise startled the sharks, causing them to scatter. The crew used this brief respite to regroup and discuss their next move. They knew they couldn't rely on the flares alone, and needed to signal for rescue while keeping the sharks at bay. Peter came up with an idea. They could use their sailing gear to create a barrier around the rafts. They tied ropes and sails together, forming a makeshift protective ring. It wasn't much, but it might give them a fighting chance. They worked quickly, knowing the sharks could return at any moment. The sharks soon returned, more aggressive than before. The improvised barrier initially held them off, but the predators began to push through. One shark bit through a rope, causing part of the barrier to collapse. Anna and James fought to repair it, their hands shaking with fear and exhaustion. As the sharks pressed their attack, Peter realized they needed to create a stronger deterrent. He remembered the emergency radio and decided to use it to send out a distress signal. He called for help, describing their location and the dire situation. The response was quick. A rescue boat was on its way, but it would take time to reach them. The crew's spirits lifted slightly, knowing help was on the way. But they still had to survive until then. The sharks continued their relentless assault, bumping and biting at the rafts. One shark managed to get a grip on the side of Mark's raft, tearing a hole in it. Water began to seep in, and Mark fought to keep it afloat. In a desperate move, Peter used the last of their flares to create a diversion. He threw them away from the rafts into the water, hoping to draw the sharks' attention. The plan worked momentarily, allowing the crew to repair the damage and secure their barrier. Minutes felt like hours as they waited for rescue. The sharks were relentless, their attacks growing more frenzied. The crew was exhausted, their muscles aching from the constant struggle. Just as they were about to lose hope, they heard the sound of an approaching boat. The rescue vessel arrived, and its crew quickly assessed the situation. They used poles and nets to fend off the sharks, creating a path to the life rafts. The exhausted sailors were pulled aboard one by one, each feeling a mix of relief and disbelief. The sharks, deterred by the larger boat, finally retreated. The Sea Voyager crew collapsed with exhaustion on the rescue boat. They were safe, but the ordeal had left them shaken. Peter thanked the rescuers, his voice filled with gratitude. The sailors were taken to the nearest port, receiving medical attention and a warm welcome from the local community. The story of their harrowing ordeal spread quickly, highlighting both the dangers of the sea and the resilience of those who face them. The crew's quick thinking and teamwork had saved their lives, turning a near tragedy into a story of survival. In 2005, the newly opened Paradise Bay Resort on the coast of Fiji promised an unparalleled luxury experience. On November 20th, the resort was bustling with guests eager to enjoy the pristine beaches and the calm waters of the artificial lagoon. The lagoon, designed to be a safe swimming area, was separated from the ocean by a series of barriers that kept wildlife at bay. Among the guests were the Williams family, David, his wife Emma, and their two children, Lily and Jake. They were excited for their vacation, having heard rave reviews about the resort. Also present was Michael Reed, a retired marine biologist who had come to relax and enjoy the tranquility of the resort. The day started perfectly. The sun shone and the lagoon was filled with guests swimming, paddleboarding, and snorkeling. The Williams children were particularly excited, splashing around in the shallow end. Michael was on the beach reading a book, but occasionally glancing up to watch the serene waters. However, the calm was deceptive. Unknown to the guests, a recent storm had damaged part of the barrier, creating a gap large enough for marine life to enter. That morning, a giant bull shark, drawn by the scent of the lagoon's fish, found its way through the breach and into the lagoon. Around midday, the first signs of trouble appeared. Lily and Jake, while snorkeling, noticed a large shadow moving in the deeper part of the lagoon. Curious, they swam closer, but the shadow disappeared. They returned to their parents, excitedly discussing the big fish they had seen. David and Emma, thinking it was just a large fish, decided to snorkel with the children to see it for themselves. Michael, overhearing their conversation, grew concerned. His experience told him that a large shadow in these waters could be more than just a harmless fish. As the Williams family snorkeled, the shadow reappeared, moving swiftly and purposefully. Michael's concern turned to alarm when he saw the unmistakable dorsal fin of a shark. He stood up and shouted, trying to warn the lifeguards and the guests. Panic quickly spread as people realized the danger. The lifeguards sprang into action, whistling and ordering everyone out of the water. Chaos ensued as guests scrambled to get to safety. The shark, now agitated by the commotion, swam towards the shallow end of the lagoon, where the Williams family was still struggling to reach the shore. The bull shark lunged, aiming for Jake, the closest target. Realizing the imminent danger, David grabbed his son and tried to shield him. The shark bit down David's leg, its mighty jaws cutting deep. He screamed in pain, but his primary concern was getting his family to safety. Emma, terrified, managed to pull Lily to the shore, where Michael and other guests helped them out of the water. The lifeguards rushed to assist David and Jake. One lifeguard, Tom, bravely entered the water with a pole, attempting to fend off the shark. Despite his age, Michael joined in, using his knowledge of sharks to direct Tom on handling the predator. They managed to distract the shark long enough for David and Jake to be pulled to safety, but David was bleeding heavily. The resort's medical team quickly attended to David's wounds, trying to stop the bleeding and stabilize him. Emma and the children were in shock, clinging to each other and watching the scene unfold. The other guests, though safe on the shore, were in a state of panic, unsure of what would happen next. The resort's manager, Sarah Lawson, realized they needed to act fast to restore order and ensure no further attacks. She contacted local marine authorities and explained the situation. They advised closing the lagoon and sent a team of experts to capture the shark and assessed the damage to the barrier. As the experts arrived, they coordinated with Michael, who offered his expertise. They set up a plan to safely capture the shark and repair the breach in the barrier. Using a combination of nets and bait, they lured the shark into a confined lagoon area. It was a tense operation, but they captured the shark after several hours without further incident. With the shark secured, the team focused on repairing the barrier. They worked through the night, ensuring the lagoon would again be safe for guests. The resort staff remained vigilant, assisting the guests and providing updates on the situation. David was taken to the nearest hospital, where he underwent surgery to treat his leg injuries. The doctors were optimistic about his recovery, but it would take time. Emma and the children stayed by his side, grateful he was alive and receiving the needed care. The following day, the resort told the guests what had happened and the steps taken to ensure their safety. Sarah personally met with many guests, including the Williams family, offering apologies and support. She assured them the resort would cover all medical expenses and provide accommodations until David was ready to travel. Though shaken, the guests appreciated the resort staff and marine experts' swift and professional response. The lagoon remained closed for several days while thorough inspections and additional reinforcements were made to the barriers. As the days passed, the resort slowly returned to normal. The guests resumed their activities with a heightened awareness of their surroundings. Once David was stable enough to travel, the Williams family cut their vacation short, but left with a deep appreciation for the bravery and kindness shown to them. In 2007, off the coast of New Zealand, a secluded coastal research station stood at the ocean's edge. The station, built on a rocky outcrop, was designed to study the effects of climate change on marine life. On April 15th, the team of scientists at the station was focused on their latest project, monitoring the nighttime activities of aquatic species. The team consisted of Dr. Lisa Henderson, the lead marine biologist, Dr. Mark Edwards, an oceanographer, Emily Parker, a marine technician, and James Lee, a research assistant. The day began with the usual routine. The scientists reviewed their data, calibrated their equipment, and prepared for the nighttime observation. The research station featured an underwater observation dome, a unique structure that allowed the team to observe marine life in its natural habitat without disturbing the environment. The dome was a marvel of engineering, providing a panoramic view of the ocean depths. As evening approached, the team gathered in the observation dome, eager to begin their work. The water outside was dark, and the glow from their equipment cast eerie shadows. They settled in, each taking their position to monitor the various sensors and cameras. The mood was one of quiet excitement, as they hoped to gather valuable data. The waters around New Zealand were home to a diverse range of marine life, including several species of sharks. Great whites, hammerheads, and tiger sharks frequently visited the area. While the scientists were aware of the presence of these predators, the observation dome had always provided a safe vantage point. The team observed various fish and other sea creatures doing nocturnal activities as the night progressed. Suddenly, their equipment detected a large object approaching. The screens showed the unmistakable shape of a great white shark, a frequent visitor to these waters. The shark circled the dome, its curiosity piqued by the lights and movement inside. Dr. Henderson watched the shark with fascination, noting its size and behavior. The team had seen sharks before, but this one seemed particularly interested in the dome. It swam closer, bumping against the glass, causing the structure to shudder slightly. The team exchanged nervous glances but continued their observations. Without warning, the shark rammed the dome with great force. The impact was sudden and violent, causing the glass to crack. Water began to seep in, and alarms blared throughout the station. The team realized they were in grave danger. The dome was compromised and the water level was rising quickly. Panic set in as the scientists scrambled to find a solution. Dr. Edwards quickly assessed the damage and determined that the dome would not hold much longer. They needed to evacuate immediately. Dr. Henderson tried to communicate with the central station, but the impact had damaged their communication systems. Emily Parker, the marine technician, suggested using the emergency escape route, a small hatch that led to the surface. It was their best option, but they had to act fast. The shark, now more aggressive, continued to ram the dome, each hit causing more water to flood in. The team gathered their essential equipment and moved towards the escape hatch. The water level was rising rapidly, and they had to wade through the knee-deep water to reach the hatch. James Lee struggled with the hatch's mechanism, his hands trembling with fear and urgency. Finally, the hatch opened, and the team began to climb out one by one. Dr. Henderson was the last to leave, ensuring everyone else was safe. Just as she was about to climb through, the shark struck again, breaching the weakened dome. Water surged in, knocking her off her feet and pulling her back. Outside, Dr. Edwards saw the chaos below and climbed back to help. He grabbed Dr. Henderson and pulled her towards the hatch. The shark's fins sliced through the water, a stark reminder of their peril. They both struggled but made it through the hatch, securing it behind them with a final push. On the surface, the team gasped for breath, their hearts racing from the near-death experience. The central station, alerted by the alarms, had already launched a rescue operation. A small rescue boat arrived within minutes, and the team was quickly pulled aboard. As they sailed back to the central station, the reality of their ordeal sank in. They had narrowly escaped a deadly situation, and the research dome was likely beyond repair. The team was shaken but grateful to be alive. Back at the central station, they were greeted by the station's director, who had been anxiously awaiting their return. The director praised their quick thinking and teamwork, undoubtedly saving their lives. Medical personnel checked them for injuries, and while they were all exhausted and bruised, they had no severe injuries. The following days were filled with debriefings and plans to salvage what they could from the damaged dome. The data they had collected before the attack was intact, providing valuable insights into the shark's behavior. The team analyzed the footage, noting the shark's unusual aggression and the events that led to the breach. News of the incident spread quickly, drawing attention to the importance of marine research and the challenges scientists face. The team's bravery and quick thinking were praised, and their work gained support from the scientific community and the public.